The Christmas cyclone threat is over. Cyclone Grant has been downgraded to a tropical low as it moves through Arnhem Land. The Weather Bureau has cancelled a cyclone warning and a cyclone watch for the top end. Cyclone Grant crossed from Van Diemen's Gulf to the Territory mainland and tracked south toward Jabiru this morning. Dr Andrew Tupper from the Weather Bureau joins us now. And Andrew, while the system has been downgraded, can you tell us what conditions are still being experienced?
Claire, there's some pretty solid rain around the system at the moment and a bit of gusty winds as well. It's mostly the rain we're looking at. We're expecting some minor flooding around. We would expect Beswick, for example, to be cut off, and we're watching the Catherine River as well. Nothing to be too concerned about, but obviously the main focus is always on the rain once the cyclone moves inland.
What's the low pressure system's path at this stage, and is there a chance of it reforming into a cyclone?
There's a very good chance that it will reform into a cyclone. It's moving fairly steadily eastwards. We're expecting it to head into the Gulf of Carpentaria around Wednesday, Thursday to reform into a cyclone. It does look, though, as though once it's headed into the Gulf, and obviously that's a concern for people around Groote Island, but once it's past there, it should keep going.
The Weather Bureau often talks about the unpredictability of forecasting in the tropics. What new information will you take from this particular cyclone experience?
Well, every event is a little bit different. I think for this one, a few things have been validated. It is always difficult at the start when a cyclone is forming, because we're so close to where they form. That's just really tough forecasting. Once it did form, it was actually reasonably predictable. It came south roughly when we said it would. It moved south a little bit further east than we said it would, and that turned out to be very good news for those living in the northwest top end. And the track it's following now is fairly predictable as well. So those were mostly pretty good things. It also reminded us that cyclones, once they do form, can develop quickly. It got to Category 2 intensity really quite quickly.
Dr Andrew Tupper, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.